Hi team, happy, I don't actually even know what today is. Um, Happy Monday or Tuesday. I hope you guys are doing well. A couple reminders as we start off class. Your next test will be on March 1st or March 4th. So if you're in my first period class, March 1st. If you're in my gold day 6th period class, you're on March 4th, okay? Couple reminders, please make sure you upload that limiting reactant homework to the portal or you will not be receiving credit. I'll be tracking this while I'm in Germany, right? Also, don't forget to upload your homework today to the portal when completed. You should be able to complete this worksheet fully in class and have no work outside of class. Today should also partially be a study day, so you should also be working on your unit review. If you get stuck today, you should go take a look at the topic boards or talk to a neighbor, right? But we're going to work through a problem together. So head to the front of the classroom and make sure that you have a copy of our percent yield homework, okay? Sweet, let's get started. Okay, you guys, so everyone make sure that you have a percent yield worksheet with you, right? So this is pretty easy. So all we're going to do is we're going to read this top section and look through it together. So percent yield. The percent yield is a measurement that indicates how successful a reaction has been. In the equation below, actual, look at that, there's a word. Actual, it's bolded for a reason, is the value that you actually produce from the lab. It is measured, not calculated. And theoretical is the value that you make up in theory. This is calculated and not measured. So when we say calculated, that means dimensional analysis, right? How much do we think we're going to make? So then we actually look at the equation that we're given. And it says that percent yield is our actual, so how much we actually find in the lab, not calculated, but measured, divided by our theoretical, which we do calculate, times 100%. Pretty simple, right? So let's go ahead and look at a problem, and we're going to do number 1 together. If you begin with 20.7 grams of calcium carbonate, theoretically, there's a word that should set off our brain. In theory, the reaction should produce 11.4 grams of calcium oxide. Using the balanced equation below, you could prove that by doing the dimensional analysis, right? We could go from grams to moles, moles to moles, moles to grams. When you perform this reaction in the lab, we actually produce 6.81 grams of calcium oxide. We want to figure out what is the percent yield of calcium oxide, right? So let's look at this, percent yield. We said that's equal to our actual divided by our theoretical. We nicely color-coded these things in here. Our actual goes on top. That would be 6.81 grams of calcium oxide, right? Actual goes on top. We divide by the theoretical on the bottom, which is 11.4 grams of calcium oxide. And then we multiply by 100%. Okay, our units here, grams are going to cancel out, right? So if we take our calculator and we do 6.81 divided by 11.4 times 100, we end up with 59.7368%. Now, we got to sig fig this bad boy, right? So let's look at our starting things. That has 3 sig figs. That has 3 sig figs. So I get 3 sig figs in my final answer. We keep 1, 2, 3. Does that 3 round that 7 up? Heck no, tech no. So our final answer should be 59.7%. Put a box around it. That's your final answer. So
you're going to go through 2 more problems, right? If we look at this, it gets a little bit harder. You got to start by balancing that, and then we want to know what is our theoretical yield of CO2 in grams if we start with this many grams of C6H6O3, right? So you're going to go ahead, and we're going to go from grams to moles, moles to moles, moles to grams, right? And then you just calculated your theoretical. They tell you how many you actually produce, and you can use that to calculate your percent yield, right? So it breaks it up into 2 steps for you, and then you're going to continue to do the same type of thing for number 3. All the answers are at the bottom of this worksheet.